Relatives and friends, as we begin our services, we ask that you please turn off all cell phones or electronic devices or place them in a silent mode.
מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי, לא אחסר. בינות דשא ירביצי לי, על מי מלוכות ילהללי, נפשי ישובר, ינחני במגלי צדק, למען שמו. גם כי ילך בגיא צל מוות, לא יירא רע, כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צוררי. תשענת בשמן ראשי, כוסי רוויה. אך טוב החסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי. ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים.
The 23rd Psalm. A psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou prepare a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalm 121. Shir lamadot, esain ha'ai el harimei an yavo Ezri. Ezri mehim Adonai, oseh shamayim va'aretz. Ayitein lamod roglecha, ayanum shomrecha. Hine lo yanum velo yishan, shomer Yisrael. Adonai shomrecha, Adonai silcha al yad yaminhecha. Yomam hashemesh lo yikacha, v'yareach balayla. Adonai yishmarcha mikol ra, Yishmor et nafshecha, Adonai yishmor tzeitcha, uvohecha me'ata v'ad olam. A song for ascents. I turn my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. Adonai will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. The guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your protection, a guardian at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. Adonai will guard you from all harm and guard your life. Adonai guards your going and coming, now and forever. My name is Rabbi Sam Hollander. I'm joined here today with Rabbi David Englander and Cantor Elisa Pomerantz-Burrow, as well as Rabbi Aaron Krupnick. And on behalf of your Bethel family, we are here with you. We begin this afternoon with the chanting of Psalms. At a time when we don't always know the words to say, we turn to our tradition, thus linking Judith's life with the thousands of years of Jewish tradition. While today is a difficult day, it is also a moment to celebrate the life that's what was and to share those memories. And to begin so, we turn to her family, calling upon Michelle and Amy to come forward to begin with that sharing of memories.
We want to thank you all for joining us today in honor of our mom, the one and only Judith Gotthold. My sister, brother, and the rest of our family are truly blessed to have had her as our mom, Grammy, sister, aunt, and of course, wife to our dad and to our beloved John. Our mom lit up a room with her contagious humor and amazing energy.
And we all know if Mom were standing right here, she'd be looking out at this crowd and saying, "Oh my God, get over here." Am I wrong? Right? Okay. Mom was totally her own person, unique in so many ways. She was larger than life, and to know her truly was to love her. She was so adorable and so beloved. Beloved by us, by her many friends who became like family to her, and we know she was the unofficial Weight Watchers guru of South Jersey, complete with her own fan following, many of whom are here today. The joke in our family was that whenever we went somewhere, someone always knew Judy. And when Mom introduced one of us or found out, that she was our mom or my aunt's sister, they would all say, "I love your mom," or "I love your sister," or to John, "I love your wife." Mom was a star, complete with many memorable catchphrases, including,
Show up or blow up.
"You gotta pull it in tight."
Bite it and write it.
"Wet it and forget it."
And of course, you're not done until I tell you you're done.
"And I'm not done until you tell me I'm done." Sing along if you know the ending. And don't tell me I'm done. Mom wanted us to tell you that although she may be done for this lifetime, you're not done.
Our mother was feisty, just like our grandmother was, and she loved life. For the past 3.5 months, she fought so hard to get back the life she knew and loved. Hanging out with her kids, grandchildren, visiting with John, schmoozing around TJ Maxx with her sister, and having lunch and dinner with friends. Through this time, she actually gave us one of the greatest gifts, family togetherness. We have spent so much time together, and through all the pain and suffering, we had some really good laughs as well.
When things weren't looking good and the idea of palliative care was first introduced, Mom all but kicked the poor social worker from Samaritan out of the hospital room. I have things to do, she told us. And she fought so hard as one curveball after another was thrown her way up until the very end.
We had a quiet time with Mom and the quality time as well. We talked about so many things. Life moves so quickly. And we all say we're going to get together, we're all going to do this, and we're all going to do that. Please, take the time to do it and make the phone calls. Make that lunch date. Make the plans to visit each other. Life is so short, and we so appreciate that we did have this time together, my family.
And despite our hearts truly being broken, we're so grateful that Mom is no longer suffering and she's finally at peace. She deserves it. Mom, we love you up to the sky, and you will always be in our thoughts and in our hearts.
Sleep well and be free, our beautiful Mama.
Thank you, Amy and Michelle. Next, we'll call upon Judy's grandchildren to come forward to talk. Thank you.
Okay, just pulling up my thing. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for coming to join my family and I today as we celebrate the life of my Grammy, Judy. For those who don't know me, I'm Brooke, and I'm Judy's oldest grandchild. I may have started with, for those who don't know me, but let's be real, you guys all know who I am. I'm sure that you've heard my name at least once over the years of knowing my Grammy. She loved her grandchildren and her family so much that anyone who knew her knew us. My mom and my Aunt Amo said it when I arrived at the rehab when my Grammy was first put on hospice, that it was a full circle moment. When I was born, I was the first grandchild on both sides of my family. Everyone was there, and I mean everyone. But regardless of those people who showed up, and besides my dad, I guess, my Grammy was the only one in the room with my mom when I was brought into this world. She was there the second that I took my first breath, and I was there until about the second that she took her last. I'm honored to have been the one who gave her the title of Grammy. But it truly was full circle, and I'm glad that I was able to be there for her last days. My Grammy was one of the most vivacious, supportive, loving, and authentic people that I've ever known. She truly made all of us grandchildren feel so loved at all times. I think it's safe to say that she gave us enough love to last a lifetime. My brother Matt and I lost our grandmoon and our poppy, my dad's parents, and our pop-up, who was my Grammy's first husband, at a very young age. So for a majority of our lives, we only really had our Grammy as a grandparent. But with the help of John, her lovely husband, there was never an event or an activity that I didn't think that she would be in attendance for. She was so supportive, enough to make up for all the other grandparents who haven't been with us for a long time. It's also so wonderful to see how many people are here today to celebrate her life. From a young age, I could see the impact that she made on people. I could see how many truly loved her, and that is being cemented today with those of you who are here to join us. When I was younger, she would watch me on weekends or afternoons, as grandparents do, and almost every single time that we were out or we went anywhere, she would know someone. I would get annoyed as the young kid that I was when we would constantly need to stop and chat with someone while we were spending time together. I'd be pulling at her shirt, trying to tell her that I was ready to go, and I wanted her to stop chatting to whomever she saw. My apologies if I did that to any of you that are here today. But the things that I would do to see that one more time, to see her run into someone that she knew in the grocery store, at the mall, at DJ Maxx, truly anywhere, just to see the joy spread upon her friends' faces the second that they saw my Grammy. I will miss knowing the second that she entered a room screaming, "Have no fear, Grammy's here." I will miss calling her and hearing her pick up the phone with a big old hello. And I will miss her unwavering support in everything that I do. And I will miss her presence that she brought into every room that she entered. Grammy, I'm so glad that you are at peace, and it's safe to say that you will truly be missed by so many, but you're in a better place, and I miss you so much, and I love you up to the sky. Thank you all so much.
All right. Hi, I'm Danny. I was Grammy's fourth grandson. Let me tell you something about Grammy. You knew when she entered a room. She had the loudest voice, the loudest "oh my gods," and the loudest, most contagious laugh in every room that she walked into. And that included a sold-out Citizens Bank Park at a Phillies game. One of my favorite memories with Grammy, I was 15, and we went to the Phillies for my birthday. And we were in the right field seats, probably about 10 to 15 rows back. And I really wanted to get a ball from the guy playing in right field. There's a guy named Nick Williams who played for the Phillies. And I used to be pretty quiet and shy. And I was just kind of sitting there with my glove up, hoping to get a ball. And then I hear Grammy going, Nick, it's his birthday. It's his birthday. And Nick Williams, the guy who played right, I didn't get the ball, but he waved at me. And to 14-year-old Danny, that was one of the coolest things ever. And then maybe it was like the 6th, 7th inning of that game, I wanted to get on the Jumbotron. And Grammy and my mom start dancing. And they're going crazy, and they get on the Jumbotron. And as soon as they get on, my Grammy is dancing her heart out, and she starts pointing at me. And 14-year-old Danny is just sitting there like, and Grammy's pointing at me saying, it's his birthday. It's his birthday. Get him on the Jumbotron. In the last few months when my Grammy got sick, I was very blessed to be able to be around her a lot more. I grew up outside of Boston, but I go to Temple University, so when she was sick, I was only about 45 minutes away from where she was sick, and I got to visit her a lot. And above everything else, she was a fighter. She was always in the lowest moments so positive. Every time I saw her, she would just shower me with love. She was always so proud of me, no matter what I was doing. Always just telling me, I love you up to the sky. And the more I think about it, I take a lot from Grammy. To unapologetically be yourself, to live life to the fullest, to live with a passion, and to just spread love to all those around you. So Grammy, all the animals in the zoo are sending their best regards to you up in heaven, and I love you up to the sky always.
I'm Josh. I'm Danny's older brother and Grammy's first grandson, second grandkid. I'm just thankful. I did not write anything down. I'm thankful that I got to have 26 years of my life with my Grammy, because I try not to take it for granted, but not everyone gets to. And I don't think I appreciated it until I was really reflecting on it these last few months, that when Pop-Up Dawn passed away when I was 4, she could have been bitter and she could have turned her back on the world. And that would have, in my mind, I would have understood. But she didn't. Again, the fact that I'm only now thinking about this it shows who she is. She chose to instead go the other way, to really lean into her family, lean into her Weight Watchers classes. She made the rest of us in this room her family. She made us the reason that she got up every day and she had something to look forward to. I don't take any of that for granted. We went to Chuck E. Cheese together. She toured the world. She went to Jamaica with John. She saw Disney World, and she got married with Goofy, which was always her favorite. I know it sounds silly, but I'm thankful that she got to do pretty much everything that she wanted to do, and she did it her way. And I'm thankful. I'm not thankful that she's not here, but I'm thankful she's at peace. Because someone who lived so unapologetically herself shouldn't have to compromise about how they live. So I'm thankful for my time with you, Grammy, and I hope that you're at peace. I love you very much.
Just want to thank on behalf of everybody here, I'm sure all those who shared these beautiful reflections. Really want to thank those who shared out loud, and also those who are thinking about incredibly precious memories that are being stirred up today, because by sharing those memories, you're inspiring others to remember every single detail that they can about their interactions with somebody truly unforgettable. And so let me just start with that word of gratitude. So pretty high up on the list of questions that I have fielded more than once is, Rabbi, do Jews believe in heaven? And it's a good question for a variety of reasons, but my best attempt at a short answer is yes, pretty much, well, kind of. I think so. Well, what do you think? Kind of how the answer goes. And the reason it's that diverse of an answer is because the rabbis who organized and in so many ways invented our tradition closer to 2,000 years ago than anything else know what we also know, which is that no one has ever really gone there and come back, at least not conclusively. But it wasn't possible for them to stop at we don't know, because it is a compelling question and because they are supposed to confront good questions with sensible answers. And so over time, a fairly comprehensive view of Jewish heaven developed. And it is, I have to tell you, an expression of what all of you are feeling so very strongly today, which is that a life such as Judy's contains so much power, so much joy, love, honesty, and other strong traits that it's simply not tenable, that it's actually over. We know that even when a physical life ends, the soul that animated the body through these decades lives on. And if the soul lives on, then in some way it goes somewhere and it experiences something, even right now. And one thing it experiences, according to the rabbinic imagination, is a test of sorts. We are taught 6 questions we are asked at whatever is Judaism's version of the pearly gates. I only want to focus on one of them. You are more than welcome to Google the other 5 at your leisure. And it's the last of the questions that we are supposedly asked, and that is, during your life, were you in awe of heaven? Now, that sounds like a question that can only be answered in the affirmative by a deeply religious person. While Judy lived in connection to her Jewish identity for her whole life, religious is not the first word that comes to mind to describe her approach to her life's journey. But what is awe of heaven? And how did Judy demonstrate that day after day? Awe, according to a contemporary rabbi whose interpretation of this I found only recently, and which I think is quite accurate, is feeling how life is a wonder, not just my life, but all lives. Being in awe is to care for people, not just when they are young and cute, but especially when they are grown. Awe of heaven is showing awe for the source of all by caring for all. And this is the part I really liked. As we modify and change this world and try to make a better life for children and for ourselves, do we think beyond doing good for us? Is what we do also for the common good? Is what we build and create done in awe of life through caring for others? What legacy, what heavens and earth do we leave for the next generation? Judy's whole approach to her life was based on making other lives better. Yes, she gained so much from being involved, from being known, from living out loud, from getting to know everyone from medical staff to those working at TJ Maxx. But the goal was not self-affirmation. Her goal was you-affirmation. She connected, and in doing so, she made so many lives immeasurably better and more fulfilled. And through that, she is able to answer what I might describe as a seventh question that is embedded within the other six, which is, did you do all you could with the years you were granted? It is easy to know that the honest answer is an emphatic yes. As a daughter, sister, wife, mother, grandmother, there was no aspect of her presence in your lives that you couldn't count on. She loved being around you. She loved being with you. She drew energy from that togetherness, and she would not have traded it for anything. And you would say the same thing about what you received from her as you built your lives together. It was beautiful to hear how close these sisters got, how Judy and Toby intertwined your lives and relied on each other for decades. How she loved and managed the loss of Don, and how John became such a loving and devoted partner. How this family of 3 kids knew they had a mom whose presence, wisdom, and boundless energy was an example and a blessing for them in a very special way. In a childhood memory that never fails to inspire, yours was the house that your friends wanted to hang out at because your mom loved that. And when there was a need, there was always more space at the dinner or the holiday table. Just move over. And voila, there was another seat or 2. And she really hit her stride, as if that was even more possible or needed, as Grammy. Taught you, as you heard, to live your best lives, to not care too much about what anyone else thinks, and, as you said, to always, always be yourself. Born to loving parents, Rose and Harry Fink, Harry being in the linen supply business and Rose in purchasing for Einstein. They belonged for a time to KI back when it was on Broad Street, but they didn't join its move out of the neighborhood. Judy and Rose, it is true, were known for both not doing very much of what they did not want to do. There was that feistiness that they shared in common. Judy graduated high school and worked in bookkeeping, meeting Don at 18 and getting married soon after. It was Carol who introduced them fittingly on the high holidays, when spiritually we think about being written in the book of life. This would be the beginning of the book that they would begin to write together. The tiny Logan apartment became too tiny with Amy's arrival, and so across the river to Cherry Hill you went. As a stay-at-home mom, she looked after and raised you, also looking after parts of Don's fasteners, nuts, and bolts business. And into that mix came the part of the story that you all know, which is that Weight Watchers helped her. And through that program, she wound up helping lots and lots of other people, and did so until very recently. There as elsewhere, people loved her. There as elsewhere, she did things her way and not entirely by the book. There, as elsewhere, she was with others on their journey for their benefit and not for her own. She was the most popular teacher. Her classes or meetings were frequent and they were packed. And through this work, she connected and truly thrived. And in doing so, she helped others to thrive as well. Through this time, these children in love, as Rabbi Krupnik likes to say, came into her life, and Howard, Rhonda, and Scott knew that they had a fan and advocate in this second mother, as did Gary, and others even newer to the family through marriage. Her positive energy shined toward and through you also, and I know you consider it so very fortunate that she was such a strong part of your lives for all of these years. Made a note during our very meaningful conversation just last night. Well, I'm not sure who said it. I think it's a fair summary statement and also a most beautiful tribute, which is that because Judy was in your life, you felt loved, appreciated, and supported. She was, as the song goes, simply the best. Because she was unapologetically herself, unapologetically Judy, unapologetically Grammy. You stood by her over these last difficult months and never doubted for a moment that you would do all you could to get her the care and show her the love that she needed and she most certainly deserved. Some of her last words were that she loved you. The ultimate answer to any question about the content and quality of a life. It will be a long adjustment. We call it mourning. Adjustments to a world without her unique and outspoken voice in it. But as her special soul is passing any possible test to go wherever those who lived good and impactful lives go, she is just as certainly a permanent presence in your hearts, a soul and a love that will be carried with you forever and passed down through the generations. So I express my condolences, those of our clergy, leadership, those of our Bethel community, to Michelle and Howard. We're honored to note how you joined Bethel during the kids' ECC days, and Michelle, how you have devoted time, energy, and how you have shared your leadership skills on behalf of the congregation, and for that we are very grateful. To Jeff and Rhonda, to Amy and Scott, it has been an honor to get to know your mom better through your recollections of all the ways that she was such a significant, uplifting, endlessly memorable part of your lives. To Toby and Gary, the sister and brother-in-law of such powerful connection. To John, whose love and appreciation for Judy was as apparent as it was strong. To all who called Judy by what must have been her favorite title of all, that would be Grammy. To my Israel travel buddy, Brooke. To Matthew, Josh and Rachel, Danny, Julia, and Evan. It will be a long time before even a day goes by when you don't think of your amazing Grammy. And you'll live out her legacy, each of you, in your own meaningful way. Tenishmata tzura b'tzura chayim, may Judy Gotthold's soul be bound up in the bond of eternal life. May she rest in peace, and let us say, Amen. While I have your attention, I want to note that Shiva will take place beginning today following the interment at Crescent Memorial Park. Today, visitation is welcome at Toby and Gary's home, 56 St. Moritz Lane in Cherry Hill, from following the interment, including a service at 6:30 p.m. And tomorrow, Tuesday, visitation again at Toby and Gary's home, welcome from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with a service once again at 6:30 p.m. Again, just to emphasize, visitation welcome beginning following the interment at Crescent today through the balance of the day with a service at 6:30. This time, I invite you to rise in body or in spirit for the El Mali Rachamim memorial prayer.
אמצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה במעלות קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים את נשמת יהודית נעמי בת הרשל ורוז שהלכה לעולמה בגן עדן תהא מנוחתה. אנא ברחמים תסתיריה בסתר כנפיך לעולמים ותיצרה בצרור החיים את נשמתה. אדוני הוא נחלתה ותנוח בשלום המשכבה ונאמר אמן.
El Malay Rachamim, exalt and compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and the pure, to the soul of Yehudit Naomi Bat Hershel Veroz, who has gone to her eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May her soul be bound up in the bound of life. May she rest in peace, and let us say, Amen. You may be seated.